Hey guys, it's Shannon from That DIY Couple, and today I want to show you about how we took our bathroom from this to this.
Ultimate luxury. That's what we all want, isn't it? Hi, I'm John. Welcome to my bathroom.
Just kidding. To this. Now we did a whole before tour, which we'll link to above, but the short story is that we bought this house as a foreclosure, and it had two different types of dated, dirty-looking tile on the floors and walls. Our shower was very short for our height and broken. Our tub was in dire need of a reglazing. The pedestal sink was in good shape, but the cabinet mirror above it was busted up inside and didn't work, and the light above that was touch and go. The electricity would often short circuit when we plugged in a hairdryer. The bathroom had an odd layout, with the toilet fitting into what clearly used to be a closet, as evidenced by the traces of former shelves. The very first step in a big renovation like this is to remove everything from the space, including fixtures like your toilet and vanity, to get your personal items out of there and make sure everything is clean and ready to work.
Yeah, so I took off this. This is where the medicine cabinet at one time went. This is where the sink at one time went. Actually behind it, this is just a very photorealistic painting that I've created. This wasn't a painting, and I leaned my body on this. Just did one of these. It's surreal. This is a place I've never before been able to stand in this house. I'm now standing here because the toilet was here before, and now I'm standing here. It's awesome.
Next, it's time for demolition day. Here's a clip of John explaining this very important process. Pay attention. We removed the existing tile and drywall by hammering the walls with hammers and sledgehammers, watching out for plumbing and electricity behind the walls. One person can work on demolition, while the other can put waste into bags and manage trash to keep the space workable.
All right, we're done with the first day of demolition. And what I have chosen to do is actually paint a mosaic in this room, representing my depiction of what the room would look like without flooring or without part of the wall that I'm looking at. It turned out quite well. I'm quite skilled.
One of the really cool things about renovating a bathroom down to the studs is that you can learn a little about the history of your house and leave a little Easter egg for the next renovator.
What happened is that the previous people just tiled over this existing tile and then also over this existing wallpaper. This screams to me 1953? 57? Post-war, no doubt.
So we like to leave a little something for the next renovators. So we've written them a little note here. Why the fudge, YouTube sponsor appropriate, did you open this wall? To replace the white subway tile. They told us that unknown expletive was timeless. Love, Shannon and John at That DIY Couple. We found that we were not the only ones who like to leave little notes. Here it says Cambridge 5/17/70, and we think that's a 1. Pretty cool.
I've made some decisions here that some might call extreme, but for me they're perfect, and I hope you respect that in this little tour I'm giving you. This wonderful copper, perhaps, thing that was holding on tile that I've never encountered before, and now it's a very comfortable part of my my headrest. Just get the right position. Just want it to go right into the skull. There we go. finished demolition. It's a long process. Took up all the tile on the floor, took up all the tile surrounding the shower encasement here, and I rewired this as a secret to Shannon, who is filming this, who knows, so it's not exactly a secret. But so now we have a light right here. Oops, there we go. So just soldered some pipe together. It's a length of copper pipe. If you come over here, you can take a look. This guy. So this guy used to end right about here, and I added this length to it. I did that by applying some solder. That's this. I did a really shitty job, but it seems to work. I just ran it for a while and there were no leaks. But it involves one of my favorite tools, which is and this little blowtorch action right here, and put some solder paste and then the actual solder, put it together, and it works pretty well. Should we test it out? No leaks!
You're having so much fun.
We do it again?
No!
How you doing? John here. We're now at the opposite phase of demolition, which is the creation phase. So we're putting stuff in. I started to put in some of this concrete backer board right here because we're going to put tile here. And here in the shower encasement closure area, I put in new insulation, and then in front of that I put in this plastic sheeting as a water protector. Okay, so yesterday we put up a lot of this backer board around the walls and sort of leveled out the floor a little bit. The idea is that we're going to put down quite a lot of mortar on the floor in an attempt to make sure that the floor is level, and also because we have these very large tiles. And today we're going to hopefully be putting down the tiles. So we're going to first put them down just kind of in a dry fashion to figure out the cuts, make the cuts, and then we're going to actually put the mortar down, put them down, and if we can accomplish that in the next couple hours, that will be awesome. It was so easy. I'm a tile cutter now. I love it so much.
Hey guys, so this is the after tour. After putting on the finishing touches, all we had to do was move back in our stuff and add some really fun and quirky little details. I absolutely love the way that this bathroom turned out. I love taking a shower here and getting ready in the morning. Some of my favorite things are just like the little details that we've added, like our little pictures of John and I at a friend's wedding, the little succulents that we have here, the little figurine of Wally, the lunchbox, and the little dinosaur. I love the details in this bathroom, like the gold accents here. This is a little rhino that we picked up in Sweden. It's originally iron, and I painted it gold black lacquer. And I did the same thing with this little mirror, which I picked up at Marshall's. This came like this, and I like that these sort of match, and I just love the way it stands out against the bold wallpaper. I think it was a good decision not to do the wallpaper all the way down to the ground. It's already quite busy. My dad told me that it looks like Dante's Inferno, but I maintain that it's just a sultry rose. I love our little goat portrait. I painted it in the same gold color, and I love this little area that I've created over here for some of my oils and toners and some of the products that I've made for John. I just love the way it all comes together and the space flows well. I think my favorite details are the floor. I'm just obsessed with this amazing repeating pattern tile. Our Admiral Akbar toilet, which has stayed from the previous bathroom. And I absolutely love our shower. I love the herringbone that we did, and the bar here that we made, and all the subway tile with the dark grout. I just think it looks awesome and super modern. It reminds me of like a New York kind of speakeasy bathroom. It's really bold, it's really us, and I just couldn't be more thrilled.
When we initially thought about doing this bathroom, we were doing it in a much more limited scope than what we actually did. Initially we thought that we were just going to replace mostly the flooring, and then the wall we're going to remove the existing tile and wallpaper. And a couple things happened. One was that we realized the wallpaper that we bought was just going to be too crazy when combined with the floor. So we decided that we would tile for at least part of the wall, like the existing part that had tile already. The second thing is that demolition took longer and was more difficult than we thought. So demoing the floor was really hard, and then demoing the walls meant not only taking out the tile, but also ripping off all the drywall and everything below that. And the mistake that we made is that we demoed the walls only up to about where you currently see the end of the tile and not anything above it. And so matching new drywall or new concrete backer board with the existing drywall, like just the levels, is really hard. Another problem is that these walls are just not level. So the studs in the walls you would assume would be kind of level to each other, but in this wall they're kind of like this. So they go in and out and bend in and out. And when you're screwing backer board onto the walls, they have a tendency to, the material that you're screwing in has a tendency to bend and flex. Another issue that we faced was this tub. We decided not to replace this bathtub, and instead we repainted it. Sometimes people call it reglazing it, but it's just repainting it. That's not a great long-term solution. At least the product that we use is not a great long-term solution. And I think it would have been way simpler just to replace this whole tub and get a new one, rather than salving this existing tub. So trying to work around the tub because we didn't want to remove it, and et cetera, was not super ideal. Another thing that we learned too is that we initially started doing just like an aesthetic renovation, and we ended up doing basically a gut renovation. And what I would have done in a gut renovation truly is replace all the plumbing, because once we got all the walls open, it was pretty easy to replace the water supply lines. But we decided not to because we were lazy, or we just didn't think of it beforehand. And right after we finished the bathroom, the water supply line that went right through here developed a leak and actually exploded when we tried to fix it. So we had to remove this part of the bathroom, the drywall, the tile, fix it, and then replace it, which probably took a day to do, and could have been avoided had we replaced the whole thing. And now we're at risk of that happening again anywhere along where the water line goes, which is all throughout this tile. In the US, unlike in Europe, all the plumbing is behind the wall, behind the tile, and the only way to access it is by demoing the tile. So if you're going to go to the extent of ripping off all of the walls and going down to the studs, you might as well just replace the plumbing anyways. It's not that much more expensive if you've already done 95% of the work to do it anyways. But besides that, we are really, really happy with how the bathroom turned out. And we We took a little break from doing renovations for a while because it just took a long time, and it's our only bathroom, so it's not great to be without a bathroom. But I think we do it again in a heartbeat, and maybe in a decade we'll do another crazy, weird, wacky renovation in this bathroom at that point. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for following our bathroom renovation journey. And if you like this video, please let us know. Leave a comment. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.
And leave a comment down below letting us know what you like and what you don't like about this bathroom, or what questions you have specifically for different parts of this process. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.